The Cheating Death Podcast is a satirical program containing objective information about anything and everything under the sun. We are not political, nor are we religious. However, we are analytical and perhaps a little bit prodigious. This is no easy feat, ladies and gentlemen, for you are about to dive down the rabbit hole and you are about to learn how you can cheat death. On today's episode of the Cheating Death Podcast, we provide some insight on how to channel your creativity in a way that is unique to you and gives you an opportunity to see what your true potential holds. We also provide you with an all-new Annihilation Announcement, an all-new joke of the episode, and a top 5 list of our current favorite shoe types. Dear listener, we understand here at the program that you have a choice, and making that decision to listen to our fine program today, you are firmly aware that you are about to dive in to a world of exploration and no simplification. Understand that we hold dearly the values and morals of those in whom do the good fight on a daily basis, and by now you know that it is time for you to kick your feet up on that table, grab yourself that iced coffee, and you know we are going to tell you how you can cheat death. This is your news anchor, the Cleric of Chaos, and this is your Annihilation Announcement. Over the eons and stretched across the eras are litanies of examples as to how and why we tell ourselves that we are either capable or incapable of accomplishing a certain task, a certain objective, or a certain challenge. Why is it that we feel this way? Why do we build barriers and walls to ourselves when ultimately we ourselves have the potential and the capability to do much, much more with our lives? We have the ability to rise above every single potential situation that could be destructive to us. Instead, as we lay our heads down on that pillow at night, the thoughts fill the brain. You cannot turn them off. You give yourself and your head a shake, hoping for them to be released. But it is in this time that you focus and you know and you see and you hear and you learn that within your bounds of benevolence that you are struggling in a way that is only unique to you. You are doing your very best to identify and quantify the situations that you are within and the solutions that are required to solve them. This, dear listener, is not necessarily something that you should be worried about or concerned with, as almost each and every single person throughout this life, whether it be 5,000 years ago, 500 years ago, or 5 minutes ago, will all experience these areas of opportunity, these moments, these creations of our own curiosity, find ourselves in a realm of no return if we choose to move forward in a way that is not going to be conducive to our development, if we choose to move forward in a way that is going to be detrimental to our evolution, to our growth as people. For whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you are an artist, a businessman or woman, or an individual in whom chooses to partake in public service, government operations, militaristic occupation, or a career of your choosing, the wording changes, but the situation remains the same. We all look at ourselves in the mirror, and we are a lot harsher on ourselves than those around us are, predominantly because we are our own worst critics and we are required to spend all this time with ourselves. We chastise and criticize, but we very, very rarely idealize our situations and our capabilities. As we move forward as people, none of us have all the answers, but as we maintain the ever so beautiful path and trajectory towards maintaining perpetuity and balance, each of us inevitably understands that perfect balance is impossible. It is a fabrication. Like perfection, it does not exist. So, dear listener, when you find yourself up against a wall, or with your back up against the proverbial wall of torment, turmoil, and turbulence, understand that we must do what we can to wage war upon mediocrity and find our way to the change that we all ask for, and so shall be delivered. This has been your news anchor, the Cleric of Chaos, and this is your Annihilation Announcement. Willkommen, meine Freunde. Guten Morgen, guten Tag und eine gute Nacht. Ist deine Schauspieler, deine Künstler, deine Vernichter, deine Ausländer und deine Allesfresser. Deine Cleric of Chaos und meine Freunde, so heute ist ein schöner Tag. Und ich bin bereit. For today, we discuss and we provide insight on how one is able to channel their creativity so they may reach their wildest dreams and utilize their own chaos within themselves to manifest and to create the journey that they so shall see fit. For ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, understand that the way we all look at ourselves in the mirror is merely a reflection as to how we look inwards and how we identify and quantify the situations that lay before us. Identifying exactly how creative you can be is nothing more than looking inside of your brain, inside of your soul, and seeing exactly what it is that you can do in order to move forward. We, as a people, we as a society, always ask ourselves, what more can we do? What more can we say? How can we put ourselves on a proverbial pedestal in order to display and distribute our talents and skills among the interested, the intrigued, and the insightful? There is no one-track answer to this particular solution or this conundrum either. You may find that given the dynamics and the realms of certain circumstances, that channeling your creativity in a way that you need to do to feel better about the art, about the mission, about your particular career progression is unique and specific to you. It is the equivalent of writing a song on guitar. One would assume that each and every single song that has ever been written has been written, and that there is nothing more that can be done, when the opposite is true. The guitar is a most wonderful instrument, and believe it or not, we are still hundreds, if not thousands of years from ever getting to a point where each and every single musical composition will be deemed identical. This is, of course, taking into account that each and every single individual I am referencing with this statement is human, and not utilizing artificial intelligence for their music, or for their comedy, or for their particular film acquisition hopes. No, dear listener, for channeling creativity ultimately embodies an ideology. It looks within the soul and in the mind of the observer and of the message sender. We as artists, we as entrepreneurs, we as business people, we as people in whom are trying to create our own path and carve our way through the veritable forest of fire, understand that there are no easy answers to this particular question. How do you channel your creativity in such a way that it not only benefits you but those around you? We have to look at things individually and separately as they come. When we identify exactly what it is that we need to do in order to be firing on all cylinders, in order to be able to move forward at a rate and at a pace that gives us the chance to shine in a way that we hope everyone will be able to see the brilliance and the radiance of the light and of the smile and of the energy that we display, that we distribute. We have hope, we have dreams, and understand that the only way your dreams are going to come true, if you are an artist in whom is starting from the ground up, is by believing in who you are, believing in your mission, working with conviction. Does this mean believing that you are better than everyone else? No, it does not. It means that you believe that you belong, that you work and you try and you fail, and you work and you try and you fail, and you work and you try and you fail repeatedly, over and over again. Because in that time and in that space, it is identifiable that you give yourself an opportunity to truly see exactly what lays before you, that you see that what lays within inside of your brain, what you were told back in your elementary and primary school days and even your secondary and post-secondary studies, is no longer relevant or true. For we are in an era of self-exploration, one where people of all age groups and all demographics are finding that the career perpetual 9-to-5, work for 45 years and get a gold watch and a slap on the ass as you leave for your retirement is no longer a modern trend, is no longer a popular solution to those in whom are looking for structure and security. As such, a lot of brave souls are going out on their own and embarking upon their own adventures. And dear listener, when you channel your creativity, when you look inside your mind and you write down your goals and you execute them bit by bit, piece by piece, step by step, you will understand that the creativity has been inside of you the entire time. All it needed was for you to listen. Until next time, thank you for tuning in today. Take care of yourselves and each other. At the top of today's episode, we promised you yet another salaciously solvent top 5 list that is a solution to your weary feet. Coming in at number 5, ladies and gentlemen, we of course have the flip-flop, a casual, fun, interesting choice for those in whom are looking to just go for a moderate meander. Coming in at number 4, we of course have the tennis shoe, or more colloquially known as the sneaker. And no, you will not find Sneakers O'Toole here, but for your feet and for your legs and back, this is a rather good choice of shoe for the things you wish to pursue. Coming in at number 3, we of course have the Doc Marten and or the upper scale highbrow boot. Why? Because sometimes life needs a good kicking, and what better way to provide that kicking than with a strong boot? Coming in at number 2, we have the platform stiletto for when you are trying to look your best and putting other souls to the test. There is no better shoe for you to pursue. And coming in at number 1, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we of course look at the casual skate shoe a la Vans. Looking for a way to find yourself in comfort and peruse the capital while feeling comfy and cloud-like? Grab yourself a pair of Vans and you will be in good business. What are your top 5 favorite shoes? Email us at thecheatingdeathpodcast@gmail.com or comment beneath this video. Today's joke has been brought to you by the Cleric of Chaos. With modern dating being as filled with calamity and catastrophe as it is, emos and goths are always trying to find new dates and new ways to seek those in whom won't complain. How do they do this, you ask? Simple. they go to the cemetery. We embrace our minds and our souls in ways that other organisms and species simply choose not to. It is not necessarily because of a lack of capability or a lack of evolutionary change. No, because we are the only species that dwells on the past and looks toward the future with anxiety, depression, calamity, and mixed thoughts. These particular feelings, statements, and realms of indifference are not limited to, nor exclusive to any particular dynamic or variety. No, absolutely not. In fact, a lot of the factors that we weigh when it comes to channeling our creativity and attempting to do what we can to wage war on mediocrity in our own minds remains static in the construct that we will not change unless we look inside of our minds and channel what has been given to us through the portals and through the realms of indifference and apathy. For you see, dear listener, the benefit and the brilliance and benevolence of this universe is that, quite frankly, it does not care if you live or die. However, if you are able to find a way to channel your creativity and tap in to that ever so beautiful matrix that we call the domicile of the existential paradigm, then you will find yourself in a position that will lead you to perdition. It will give you a chance and an opportunity to shine in a way that you have never seen before. It may look different to each and every single one of us in whom perceives the area of opportunity or the challenge either as an obstacle, a reward, a benefit, or a burden. Ultimately, there is an umbrella of terms as well as feelings and situations that we find ourselves in whenever we are making an attempt to move forward. We are required in a way in this new era to go against the standardized norm that Henry Ford and the Industrial Revolution put in place with the 8-hour-a-day, 5-day-a-week work week, work time, labor distribution. The world as we knew it has long since changed. The ideology that each of us must follow a particular dynamic through the regimentation of school, a secondary and a post-secondary level, has long since passed the point of relevance. We are required and obligated in each and every single possible conceivable way to identify exactly what it is within us that makes us who we are, who we will become, and what it is that is holding us back. And if you make a decision to channel your creativity in a way that is unique to you, allow us to be blunt. There is absolutely nothing on this earth that will be able to stop you from being harnessed and being completely controlling of your own destiny. This does not mean step on the lives and the souls and the acts of others. It means move forward at a pace that you are comfortable with. Do what you can to be a human being within the confines of this realm, in a world of indifference and in a world of apathy. For when you channel your creativity and get yourself to a position to where you are comfortable and looking towards the future of your art, nothing will stop you. Thank you for tuning in today. Take care of yourselves and each other. The Cheating Death Podcast is brought to you by Nachten Lieben CRDVC, Cleric of Chaos, and where you can find all podcasts on all platforms. Please follow us, like, share, and subscribe at youtube.com/@Cleric of Chaos and youtube.com/@WeAllCheatDeath. Follow each and every single one of our talented comedian friends, our actor friends, our producers, directors, liaisons, and consultants at the links in the episode's description. Share, subscribe their content, as you will enjoy it as much as we at the program do. If you or anyone you know is experiencing psychiatric duress, emergency substance abuse withdrawal, or any sort of calamity, please contact the telephone numbers listed within the programs and in the episode's description. And if you would like to support the program, you may do so by purchasing merchandise, a cameo, buy me a coffee, much more. Links in the episodes and in the podcast description as well. And if you, dear listener, are looking for a playful puppy or a cute kitten, please visit your local animal adoption rescue center, as they are in dire need of your support. And visit yummypets.com/voice. Sign up for a free account. Give yourself an opportunity to click that button every day to give shelter animals an opportunity to receive 330 pounds of free kibble at the end of every month. And dear listener, of course, we understand that as well as anyone within the confines of this realm, that there is no one-track solution. There is no easy answer to the calamity that we face as a species, and all we must do is continue to push forward. And remember, we're pulling for you. We're all in this together.